What's up, fishes?
Welcome, fishes. What's up, fishes?
Well, welcome for the second time for the Facebook.
Wait, okay, so we're trying something a little new today.
I feel like that's a trend. Like every week,
trying something new.
Every week we come in. We're trying something a little new today.
That's because
we have no idea what we're doing.
We're unpredictable.
Continuous
Well, also
new.
got to continually innovate, right? To make sure that
That's right. That's the name of the show.
Continuous
Continuous innovation.
There you go.
Huh?
So
Jesus.
we've got our phone, or my phone in particular, up.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna do a little ghetto simulcast. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get people to see the show, and I don't know if they're just not seeing it on Facebook. So we're doing Facebook Live on the phone, and we're streaming to YouTube like normal. We're also going to have a guy in the corner with a telescopic lens simulcasting to Twitch, and also several foreign
we got all
live
that
stream
going
sites.
on.
No, I'm just kidding.
We got
E-Bombs World.
E-Bombs, was that site still up?
we got Patreon.
What was the site that we should start a Patreon and like just have you guys get in your bikinis? Like that's the content you create.
You want money, right? Like you're gonna get in there and your balance is gonna be negative.
No, that only works
point out,
for women.
Brad doesn't need a bikini. His hair just naturally grows over everything. So he could be completely nude, like on camera, and there would be nothing pornographic about it.
Someone will pay money to see Brad in a
I actually
bikini.
naturally grow a fur-lined bikini.
No one would want to buy it for.
Fraulein.
Everyone would want to like see it like the one thing you see but never want to see again. That's what Brad in a bikini would be.
You remember for a long
You'd be
time we talked about
curious.
making an Acropolis calendar.
It's like
just
smelling your own
just as a
farts.
joke?
Like,
Yeah, I think we talked to me briefly about
Smell
that.
to your own
Oh
farts.
God.
yeah, you want to see what it smells like, but then you don't want to smell it no more.
So
Oh,
okay,
no.
so you guys that are watching on Facebook Live, I would suggest you follow the link that we posted earlier to our YouTube page.
I posted in the comments too.
And in the comments, the video is a little bit better. The audio is obviously better on YouTube. So go ahead and head over there. There's a comment section on there as well. But we'll try to do our best, go back and forth.
I got a question. I didn't ask this before the stream started. How the heck are we supposed to read those comments?
Jake's got us covered, bro.
Okay, perfect.
But you got a
you
phone
want me on
too, right?
YouTube or
He's
do you
on
want me on
YouTube,
Facebook?
yeah.
What do you mean you can't see that from here?
You can't read that, Brad? No, so yeah, one of you guys has to do YouTube, one has to do Facebook. So someday we'll have once our Patreon money starts coming in, we'll have a screen up here.
I think you need to get a Patreon before you can get Patreon
We got
money.
one. So okay, so is there anything you guys want to talk about? I mean, obviously we've had our conversation of the day.
Here's something that Jason brought up.
By the end
Jason
of this, we're gonna
says-
be out as a family.
Jason says you can't comment on the YouTube live stream from his iPad.
Okay, so he can interact with us through Facebook, just not YouTube.
And
that's only with his iPad?
In the process that he's watching it.
You know, maybe the iPad doesn't have.
Why
like, a
is
specific
Tim on
button.
here?
Who said that?
Justin Harris.
Honestly, we need to get Chris.
He's remembering
back
the
in here.
glory
Get this
days of
guy
2
out.
weeks
He was
ago.
supposed to be here today. He didn't show.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Anything you guys wanna talk
Unbelievable.
about? So,
Lehman Russ.
That should be a segment.
Demon Russ.
what segment?
Unbelievable. That should just be a segment.
Well, it should be. It should be like every week you have to come with one thing that you've experienced during the week that you find unbelievable. Mine actually happened today.
Yeah,
And
I
then our
agree.
segue
It was
into
my
the segment can just
conversation
be a
with
clip of
someone
Tim,
who I thought shared
or
my
not
blood.
a clip, rather, but a montage of Tim going unbelievable.
That'd be
Oh
great.
my god! No,
I
it
probably
could be.
could.
It could
Probably
be
have
a
material
button.
for
It
it.
should be a button
I
that
should be a
Tony
producer.
pushes, just like he hits.
Yeah, can we
hits
make
the
that a
button and-
soundbite?
What?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, not.
Can we
not
get that
immediately.
and the
Every
bruh
time,
sound?
so every time you
Bruh.
see Tim just like look ashamed of us, you just click the button.
I know.
Unbelievable. Like, can we do that? That'd be fantastic.
Probably.
We are innovating while we're streaming.
That's how you know.
By the way,
it's cutting
did you
edge.
ever notice the day that you were gone and you were watching the show? Did you notice that he did
Hey,
a
look,
couple
I'm
of the
watching.
audience, the
can read that.
laugh tracks?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I did.
He overlaid a couple.
It was
of
at
them
the
into
end
the
mostly.
stream.
Yeah.
I watched the whole damn time, unlike the other guys who missed a
Yeah.
previous week and none of them watched.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm talking
I
about
was
all
sick.
three of these
If
guys.
I'm- if I'm
Your
not-
internet broke when you were sick?
Yeah.
I just want to point out, if I'm not able to be here, I'm doing something that will also prevent me from watching the show.
I find that unbelievable. Okay, so does anybody have anything that they want to talk about or start, the momentum rolling here?
What's poppin', Brad?
What's popping? My internal struggle to collect Chaos Space Marines. That's what's popping.
I think it's
I
a
want to
self.
start.
I think it's a self-imposed struggle.
It's not it's not entirely self-imposed.
Well, literally nobody else is doing it to you, so it's 100% self-imposed.
GW's doing it to me.
Okay, you've got to be thinking about something. So what Legion are you leaning toward?
Black Legion.
Black Legion?
100% Black Legion.
Yeah?
Yeah,
What's making you think Black Legion?
Huh?
What's making you say Black Legion?
They are the Ultramarines of Chaos, except just cooler.
They are pretty cool.
So they're the poster. They're the poster children for Chaos.
Plus, that
and
Abaddon
they're
model
just
is
cool.
pretty sick.
Unpopular opinion here. Chaos is cooler without spikes.
Man, you've been saying this for like 3 years.
Well, hang on now. Hear me out.
You know, other
There's a
people have been
direct
saying the same thing,
correlation.
too.
You think the same thing?
No, yeah. Well, I personally do, but other people are saying it online. They're like, man, these new Chaos Marines don't have like any spikes on them.
And they're way cooler.
Plus, did you see the new Chaos Terminators? I mean, they've got.
Are they new? Did they? They didn't.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's
we
a
talked
new
about this
kit.
before the
Well, yeah,
show
we
started.
thought
they
looked
actually
new, yeah.
they do have some spikes on them, but like,
they all literally have spikes on them.
Yeah.
And he likes the kit. Just
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks nice.
they're almost the exact same kit.
Well, they are, but they do have the traditional Terminator look.
they have a really classic Terminator look
That
to them.
U-shaped kind of upper body.
Yeah.
Plus
Which is
that-
which is
Way
really
cooler
awesome.
looking than the other ones. Though. The old ones are
No,
dumb.
they do look pretty cool. They look really nice.
yeah,
I
no,
hope that they have some new war gear options.
I haven't seen them.
They won't
No?
have any new. They
I've
won't
been
have
going
any
nuts
new
on our
options.
Facebook
I
group.
wasn't on Facebook today.
No,
What'd you think of my comment on your modern?
Where did that come from?
For some reason, it alerted me that Jake made a comment in a Michigan Modern group.
and the Michigan Modern Magic group.
I have no idea what he was talking about. It was a magic thing, and I was like, "Get wrecked, nerd!"
I was like, what the heck?
But yeah, anyway, no, my
Fantastic.
struggle with Chaos and to get up the will to collect them. I want them, and
Then there
I want
you
to
go.
run.
Like-
I want to run tables just filled with a bunch of Chaos Space Marine squads.
So then what's the struggle?
with twin plasma? I can't do that.
Neil Scoofus is
But you
watching.
can get
What's
them
up,
and
Neil?
pretend.
Neely
You
poo.
can get them
Neil,
and
I thought
pretend.
you were dead, man.
Yeah, I don't want to pretend. I want to actually do it. That's
So
my
do
problem.
it.
I
So
can't.
what's
though.
stopping you from doing it?
What's the struggle?
The struggle is I can't fit that many Space Marines into a list. That's my problem.
What was the
Play
like,
alone.
how many?
I want to play with a
Cue the
bunch.
X-Files music, Tony.
I want to
Play-
play
play-
with a bunch of twin plas.
Play a 3-point.
Chaos Space
Play a
Marine
3,000
squads.
point game with someone.
I don't want to play 3,000 points. That's
See,
just a
so-
big game.
So this is
I'd love
like
to
he
play a
said.
big game.
This is
I'm
self-imposed
outraged. Pat
struggle.
says I'm outraged that this is still going on. Pat, thank you for joining us. Welcome to the show. He's on Facebook, so he
Patrick.
can't hear the mic.
What
right
do you
now.
mean? What do you mean your outrage is still going on? This has literally been 37 episodes straight.
I
of
hate
outrage.
Dude, this
so
is
much.
this is literally our year anniversary. This is episode 300 and how many days there are
What?
in a year?
Hit it. Unbelievable. It's a weekly show. This is our year anniversary episode 300 and whatever it is.
There's so much wrong with that
Every bit of the
statement.
statement is wrong.
I wanted to say 356 because for some reason I had Land Raider on the mind.
I want to point out that Brad often tells us how good at math he is.
You know what's funny? I am actually pretty good at math.
You see?
I am actually pretty good at math. but-
So okay, so far
So
we,
he
2
thinks.
plus 2 is land rating.
so far we've determined that Brad wants to collect Chaos Space
Yeah.
Marines, but he can't because he can't collect enough of them.
Thank you.
Nobody
Yes, that
else-
is my problem.
Nobody else understands the
I
statement.
can't play with enough of them. That's my problem. I want to play with
you
more.
can't fit. You can't fit.
He's
enough
like, I really
into a
want
list.
I wanna bring,
I
like,
really want these dope models, but
60
if I can't,
You could do 60 Space Marines.
if I
You could do
can't,
60, but it wouldn't be good. It'd be disheartening just to.
How do you kill 60 Space Marines?
You just shoot at them.
Dude,
How do you
like,
kill
if,
60
if
other
they're bringing out
models?
these new kits, their points have to come down. They have to.
No, they don't. That's the problem.
Why not?
Why would they?
Well, because because they're not.
Well, hang on, we'll get into
great.
points. We'll get into points in a little bit.
Well, I-
because we're going to be talking about points.
They're
we'll
well,
shelve
okay,
that.
Oh,
the
let's
mo-
talk about
the models
points.
are beautiful and they have new
will.
weapons.
all right.
will.
I'm excited to see
I got
some
a
of those
bone
new
to
weapon
pick
options.
with points.
That minigun just looks awesome. By
Yeah.
the way, I don't
The-
even know what it does. I don't even care what it does. It just looks cool.
It just
I just
looks
want like
super-
1,000 of them.
All right, so
1,000. I want to run 80 Marines, 1,000 of those guns.
I want to talk about the elephant in the room here. That it's something we've known for a long time. Something that a lot of us turned a blind eye to. We didn't want to address it. We didn't want to admit that it was true. But
I don't like where this is going.
Yeah, no,
this is like the
setting,
Jake
he's setting up
Poxwalker
for some
segue.
kind of
Oh wait,
incoherent.
did I hear something about
garbage.
Poxwalkers?
now, hang
Yeah.
on. Listen, it's a sobering moment here. PewDiePie is a white supremacist confirmed. Did you see the white supremacist gesture that the New Zealand shooter used? We've all been doing it around the
I
store,
didn't
and
see
I'm sad to say that we will.
I'm not gonna
We've participated in this.
I'm not. I don't
I'm
wanna,
sorry, New Zealand.
Did you see it?
shooter.
Okay, so
See it.
First
Did
of all,
I
you know,
see it?
no,
Did
first
I
of all,
hear about
you
it?
know about the shooting, right?
did you see it too? Because he posted a
you don't
live
know about the
stream.
shooting?
I have
streamed
no,
it.
I had no idea that there was a shooting.
So over the what day was
Wasn't
it?
here, so.
Oh, Friday, I think.
Oh yes, it was Friday. So Friday there was obviously a terrible shooting in New Zealand. It was targeted at a mosque.
Yeah.
It was really, really obviously a horrible, abhorrent thing.
Yeah.
But during the shooting, which was live streamed, the guy screamed.
The
"Subscribe."
shooting
Yeah.
was live
He
streamed?
live
Yeah, he
streamed
live
it.
streamed it to Facebook. I think Facebook.
It wasn't
acted-
Facebook. It wasn't. It
Oh,
was
it
just.
wasn't?
It was just a live share site.
Yeah,
It must
yeah.
have been.
People
okay.
put it on Facebook.
Okay.
But anyway, when he was doing the shooting, he said subscribe to PewDiePie, right? Which obviously PewDiePie has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It was just something. I mean, the guy was. He's you killed 50 people. He's a maniac, right?
Yeah, well.
So.
He,
But at any rate,
PewDiePie at least quickly distanced himself.
right?
saying,
Well,
like,
I mean, anybody with a logical brain would
Yeah.
say, PewDiePie didn't have anything to do with the shooting. But then they had the guy in court the next day, and he's in handcuffs, and he's doing the circle thing. And an article ran that said that is a symbol of white supremacy.
Yeah.
that I never knew.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be
It's
like
not. It's
yeah,
not.
It's supposed to
No.
be like white power is the thing. Like
Yeah.
it's
It
like
means-
a gang
I've never
sign.
heard of that.
It's been associated with
it's
so
not a
many
P.
I
things.
only heard.
Huh?
I
If it's
only
upside
heard
down,
about
it
it.
is.
Then
It's-
why are your
oh,
fingers like this?
there.
Just like
That's a W.
Put them together.
I don't know.
It's-
That's-
but
Yeah.
the only reason I heard about it is because during I don't know if it was the Justice Kavanaugh court hearings or what it was, but there was a legal coordinator making an okay signal to one of the legal aides, and people were talking about how she was a white supremacist because she was saying okay, like they were communicating in the courtroom.
So the point is, it's a meme of sorts, right? The circle game, right? We've been doing it around here. Obviously, nobody's been doing it as a form of white supremacy. Now it's been labeled as such. We're gonna continue to do it because that's how we approach things.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I think the overlaying point that you're saying is like these media outlets take these non discriminatory things and then make them like this
it's
trying to make it a symbol.
They
Yeah,
sensationalize everything, right?
Why?
like
It
the
doesn't
subscribe
make any
like
sense.
the subscribe to PewDiePie, like immediately a whole bunch of articles saying like
Condemning PewDiePie for basically existing.
Well, that he's had a history of
saying he has a history of saying things that people don't like.
Yeah.
So they equate that to racism or being a white supremacist, and that's not the truth.
no, definitely not. So like yeah, I can see an out of touch media journalist saying, "Well, this person's throwing up."
I wouldn't even say it's out of touch. It's just, hey, this looks like it could be this. Run the article because it's going to get the hits, it's going to get the reads, and I don't care if it's factually true. That there is something in journalism about being first, right?
Well, that is absolutely
Jason commented the head writer of the article was sick of losing the game. So that's pretty good. I like
Unbelievable.
but it is absolutely true that being first is more important than being factually.
Yeah, because you can always come back and fix your error.
Well, that's what
you
happened
can say
with
I
the
was incorrect.
that's what happened with the kids in Washington.
Actually, that's not what happened with the kids. They still haven't. They still haven't come back.
No, there was a lot. There was a lot of articles or a lot of new journalist sites that issued out apology articles.
It kind of acts like taking down.
I mean,
the
it doesn't
banners.
obviously get the same attention.
I don't think
as the
CNN
attack.
has ever taken back what
I
they
don't know
said.
who did it, but people had. But a lot had.
That's fair. Well, there was a lot who got that story wrong.
Yeah,
But I don't think major news outlets have.
Yeah,
I think the kids.
But
The kid. I know the
point's
kids.
still the same. Is that it's.
I know
You want to be first, regardless if you're
Well,
wrong.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because
right,
you can
when a story's
always
hot.
walk it back. You can always.
There's
Obviously, some might not walk it back, but
Well, it's similar to like when a school in the NCAA gets caught doing something they're not supposed to, and they get banned from a sport, or they get championships retroactively taken away.
Michigan.
Yeah, so like the Fab Five, right? They took down all their championship banners and all that. But everybody that lived through those moments, like they still won those championships. So you can't remove that. So anybody that read this misinformation about, even if it is a white supremacist sign, right? If let's say it's misinformation, they still now if they never go back and see the redaction or that's not the right word. What's
correction?
Yeah, I mean yeah.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
The,
Retracted
if you don't ever
statements.
go, what's that?
Retracted statements.
Yeah, if you don't go back and read the retracted statements,
Yeah.
that's your reality now, right?
yeah.
Which the first thing you've read will probably have gone more viral
Yeah.
than the retraction statements.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and it's more of a lasting impact in your mind, right? Because usually whenever they do those things where they I just can't talk. When they go back and fix those things, they're usually like a sub point, right? So if it's in the newspaper, it's like the last page.
Yeah,
oh,
or
2 weeks ago we made this error. You know what I mean?
Or it's buried in some sort of article that they're rewriting on the subject. Yeah, no, it's a huge.
So they can
problem.
cite their error, but like it's still.
On a related note, that kid from Washington, the main one, he's actually suing CNN right now for defamation.
I saw that, and he picked like a massive amount, like
Yeah,
$250 million.
I don't think
That might be
picked
Washington
it,
Post, but I heard he might. Is he suing? Is he suing CNN as well? I know he's doing Washington Post.
I believe it's CNN. I think that's what I saw.
I really honestly hope he
What's he
wins.
suing him for?
defamation.
Right, but like, how so?
You're not
What-
familiar
what-
with the guy, the young kid that had a MAGA hat on, and he had like he was standing at a protest with some Indian guy.
The gist of it was basically that they said he was antagonizing him and saying racist things or
And it was all
what
on
have
video,
you,
and it wasn't.
yeah, and they were way wrong, and so the kid was slandered and defamed as a racist and a bigot, and he's a high schooler.
And then the school got like a lot of
The school got a bomb threat like
Yeah.
the next week.
Yeah,
no,
and
So
like
ridiculous.
death threat.
There's
There was-
somebody
it was
at your
nonsense.
school that's racist. I'm gonna blow it up.
Then there
That's
was
not
like
even
a-
logical.
Yeah, no
Then there were celebrities like
dumb.
what's
So
the
dumb.
annoying voiced lady?
That is not
who?
helpful.
The annoying voice redhead lady
Kathy Lee
Griffin.
Gifford.
Gifford,
I thought
the
so.
one who said she was gonna blow up, or she had the
She did the
severed head.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
supposed to
that
be-
girl.
was
Yeah,
Kathy Griffin.
Kathy Griffin. She said that someone needed to go and knock that kid in the face. Like she'll defame Donald Trump for saying that stuff in his things, but then she'll say it about this kid.
Yeah, defame
I-
Trump
either
for
way, I don't-
inciting violence while inciting violence.
Yeah, which I don't think either's okay, but like she was like really against Trump, notoriously or not famously, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then she'll just use the same rhetoric on her own agenda.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do as I say, not as I do, right? And then related to the whole New Zealand thing, so there was a senator, New Zealand senator, that apparently came out that said that, you can't really blame. I'm going to paraphrase this obviously, but I don't want to get it like super wrong. Basically, blaming Islam for the shooting.
Yeah, which
like
was-
he basically said, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword, right?
Yeah, which was-
very bad
Yeah.
timing to come out and make a point like that. Like everybody knows it's pretty stupid and ignorant to say
Yeah,
that, but it's his
exactly.
opinion.
Just-
Okay, so this guy was giving some type of public speech, and a kid comes up, and I'm sure you've all seen the video or the memes, right? There's
Yeah.
a kid behind him filming him, and you can just see the switch flip in the kid's head, and he grabs an egg.
Oh yeah, I saw
and he
that.
hits the senator on the head with the egg, and the senator turns around and bops the kid. Right? Have you seen that?
No,
That was the same. That was the same politician.
I believe so.
Okay,
I
because
believe so.
I remember hearing both separate instances.
But
I didn't-
what I want to get to
I
with
didn't
this
make the
is the
connection
kid
that it was
has
the
been
same guy.
applauded for egging this guy. So basically, everybody.
well.
But everybody is jumping on this kid like he did something great by assaulting somebody.
yeah, I know.
That's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, two wrongs don't
yeah.
make it right.
Well, like I disagree with you, so that gives me the right to physically accost you. Like,
Yeah.
Well, even if it's like, regardless, even past disagreement, like right, like I think your views are immorally wrong, like objectively, like almost 99% of society believes that. Does not give me the right to lay my hands
to
on you.
physically accost somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did this senator face any kind of backlash
I don't know.
for turn around
I
hitting
don't
the
know.
kid?
He punched him, like knocked the kid down.
I have no idea.
He
about that.
did.
Well,
He punched
yeah.
him right in the head.
I mean, when somebody's
Depending on what self-defense laws in New Zealand is, he might not face any sort of
I
legal
mean, it's right.
repercussion.
It's right on
So,
film.
yeah.
I mean, the kid, you can see
Yeah.
him. He
it's
went-
Australian.
Oh, it was Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Well, that's what every article says.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
the point is the kid went there with the intention of assaulting this guy.
Yeah,
and I think that's wrong. Like I don't like what you say, so I'm going to physically accost you. That's just not.
If you're going to egg anything, egg his house like you did back in the day. You know.
Right. I mean that's not good. That's still not good. But like you're assaulting his property though. So it's the same kind of.
It's the same concept.
This is a safe zone. Have you guys ever egged someone's house before?
I was never allowed to egg anybody's house. I was told if I ever got caught, I would get my ass beat. So
all three?
I never egged anybody's house.
Never egged a house.
We toilet papered before.
I've toilet papered and
egged. I've toilet papered,
but I never egged.
No,
but
never did anything really destructive like that.
Yeah, we were told not like toilet paper. I was annoying.
A terrible kid.
Yeah, toilet paper will go away when it rains.
I was one terrible kid.
So, is there any like combination of words in the English language that gives you the right to physically, like, assault someone?
Yeah, I would say so. But like,
is there anything that I can say to you with only words, I do nothing else, that give you the right to attack me?
Well, I think if you're outside my door and you're saying I'm gonna F and kill you. What did Tony say?
Hey, punch me in the face. That's consent and everything.
That doesn't give you the legal right to punch someone in the face. You cannot give someone permission to break the law.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you wouldn't be in any sort of legal trouble, right? The person who hit you would be, but
right. Well, but they might throw it out.
Huh?
I mean, a judge might throw it out.
Ketchup on pancakes. Get out of here.
Nope, Jason's got it. If you put ketchup on pancakes, you're
getting punched. Steak? No way.
You're getting punched.
That's not words, though.
We're going to need to ban him from the feed.
No, he's giving examples of what someone could say that deserves to get punched in the face.
Okay, I do want to touch on what Joe said.
So is that a no?
I would say there are very few circumstances. And it has to be some kind of threat. Like you're outside my door, or we're in a dark room, and you're like, "I'm gonna kill you," with intent. Like I don't know.
Well, yeah. So
that's different if I'm in your house.
Exactly.
So
that's another.
We're in neutral territory. There are laws. One of the definitions of assault in the state of Michigan is verbal. Is verbal, yes, exactly. Is verbal threatening.
It's battery to actually physically.
Yeah, exactly. It would be battery to actually hit someone. And then obviously there's a bunch of different kinds, but and there's also differences in that, slight differences. So if you give someone a condition, it's not a verbal threat. So if you take one more step closer, I'm going to punch you. That's not assault. So there's
because you're saying okay, get away from me.
Yeah, well you're basically laying a condition, and you're not
if
just
you
outright.
Do this is
exactly that's not illegal.
I think it has to be.
It has to be.
I would say that
you'd have to say something.
No.
You'd have to say something with the intent of essentially forsaking my safety or safety of other people around me. I suppose, which is I think.
Well, I'll tell you the way the law defines it in the state of Michigan. It's crap. It's
crap.
Way to go.
It's not crap. It's actually done very well. I said crap because I can't think of it off the top of my head now. But it's basically immediate. It's immediate verbal threats with intent. That's what it is.
I would.
So you do have to prove intent in a court of law,
right?
But
so you could say something. You could say a statement that is just abhorrently immoral, and that wouldn't give someone the right to hit you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could.
Well, but look no further than people that say the Holocaust didn't happen. Like,
yeah, exactly.
They have every right to say that. I have no right, even if I vehemently disagree with them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you should. That's the problem with some of the modern politics. Like, I can get violent if I don't like what you're saying. Yeah. That's just wrong.
It's the whole microaggression thing. That's what that is.
Well, yeah, they turned everything into your words have hurt me, so now I can physically strike back.
You're microaggressing me, so I'm allowed to respond with macroaggression. Which
microaggression is the most ignorant thing I have ever.
Yeah, it's honestly
it's a bunch of people.
I don't know, man. There's been a lot of things said in the last 5 years. You're like, what?
I understand that. I understand that statements can be offensive. And like so, these microaggressions.
5 hours.
I can believe can be
some things
offensive, but that's not.
Well,
being offended does not give you the right.
You don't have
harm anybody.
You don't have a right to not be offended. That's the thing. Like you don't the government isn't supposed to protect you from
Well,
being
and
offended.
life doesn't function that way, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if I'm walking down a country road and they just laid manure, I'm going to be offended in
It's
my
a
sense of
smell,
smell,
right?
right?
Yeah.
And there's no way I can do anything about it.
I don't know, like society nowadays is so.
Democrats are a good army.
That might
Punched
deserve
in the
it.
face.
Oh man.
Hey, Necrons made the top 21.
I would not
there was
hit
a Necron
someone-
player who almost made it to the finals. Like
Oh, in the
like,
LVO,
Yeah,
really?
no, they won. I want to say 5-1.
Yeah,
Hugh sad trombone.
there was like
I wanna
60
say-
62 people that went 5-1.
Do you have to go 6-0 to make the top 8? Top
Yeah,
whatever?
Yeah.
And next year they're moving it to quick segue right into 40K here, right?
Well, I mean, that's where we started technically.
Next year, I think they're doing a top 12. They said so. There's gonna be.
That's weird. Why don't they just do top 16 then?
They should. The problem
Like
is
cleaner
constraints.
brackets are cleaner, right?
Well, what they're doing is they're doing an extra round. So I think they're doing 10 rounds next year, and then the top 4 of the 12 will have a bye. So they won't have to
they're
play the
doing-
4th game on day 2.
They're doing NFL style. Hey,
Da-na-na-na. Yeah. I don't know. I really would prefer a
Was
top
that Eye
16.
of the Tiger?
No, that was
Final
Final
Countdown. That was
Countdown,
Final
yeah.
Countdown.
What I don't know. I can't.
Why did I just say I
Asia.
can't
do the. Okay.
hey, don't sing things that might get us.
I want to go. I want to
demonetized.
go back to what Joe said about
Europe.
I
the
said a country.
that kid that got punched, who went there to assault a senator, who got punched for it, started to GoFundMe, and apparently he's donating most, if not all, of the money to the families of the victims.
Well, I mean, it's so
What was
you
the-
did a wrong thing and you're doing a good thing in response. Like at least that's happening. Like there's plenty of times you can do something wrong. And
They
then
kind of
do
like
something
donating
good.
drug money though.
Yeah,
I mean, it depends. Like, does he feel remorse or apologetic for his?
Or is he trying to make himself look better? Like that, you always
Yeah.
run that risk too.
It's the
right?
whole ends justify the means, right? I mean, that's the
It does
that's
it,
the
right?
basic
Like-
conundrum. No, ends no. Ends,
Well, if I saw a
ultimately,
bunch of
ends
cocaine,
don't justify means.
if I saw
right?
a bunch of cocaine to build a children's hospital,
yeah. If you use a bunch of slaves to build 100 schools, right, or 100 hospitals, it's still
Right.
It's still not right. It's still wrong.
No,
So-
no. If that was
no,
just
the
like
ends,
a
the ends don't justify.
But I mean, it makes it better though, right? And it doesn't make it all better. But I'm
Well, I
saying
think
it's
each
a
act
step
has to
in the
be
right
judged
direction.
in turn.
It's the thing.
Right.
Like everyone can do something that's wrong or something they feel bad about, right? Everyone has regret. So, it's just the thing is that if did he do it and he's still confident that like he did the right thing,
Also-
and then he's gonna do this other thing that he thinks is
Well, I don't
good.
think you can ever say I assaulted somebody that wasn't looking at me and say you did the right thing.
Also, what's the
Right.
I mean, a lot of
why
people
is
think
he
that.
raising the funds? I'm confused.
I don't know. I don't
Is
know.
he-
People donated to him.
That's all the information I have.
Why do they donate to him?
They think he's a
Pete
hero.
Vitale,
I don't
hey,
know.
'Cause he
we want to
smacked
talk.
the egg
We
on
want
the
to talk
guy's
about
head?
flat Earth, Pete. So you
No, we're
chime in.
not
I
gonna
want to
talk
hear
I would love
some.
to talk about flat Earth again. It's been a while.
There's literally no reason to discuss it. It's not.
I watched that podcast, the Joe Rogan one. They talk about flat Earth a little bit. It's hilarious.
I 100%
hilarious.
in my
Look at
heart
that.
believe that no one believes it.
It's just
I don't
more.
know,
It's
man.
a
literally
giant global
it's
troll.
literally
I'm-
like
I'm-
the biggest
I'm-
troll.
I'm-
Like
yeah.
no one is
almost on
ignorant
belief
enough
of
to
that.
believe it.
I used to think that, but it sounds now like there's people who are on board with it.
There's no
Being
one
real.
who is that ignorant.
Don't
to
say that.
actually
Don't
believe
say
it.
that.
No, okay,
There's
okay.
plenty
Now,
of people
wait,
that
now,
are
hang on. Jake and I
ignorant.
had a really good conversation yesterday. It would have been great podcast material.
We need to just
You'll never
stop
hear it.
talking to each other outside of
That's fair.
being
Yeah,
on film.
But there are these
We need to
things.
stop
There are these
talking
things
about
that,
flat Earth.
that give such a visceral response from people, and we're programmed to respond in a visceral fashion.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that like you just say
Sure.
it and it like gives
something
people a
like we were
reason
talking
to
about,
freak out.
We have a son on the way, right? Not Jake and I. But I have a son on the way.
That's debatable.
And we've talked about circumcision. And let me tell you, people get like fired up about circumcision. And you know how many people are not going to see that my son is circumcised or not?
Yeah.
It's,
The majority of the world.
that's kind of
Oh,
a
yeah.
silly thing to get mad about.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
that might be an understatement.
Yeah. No, like
To say
mom
the
has
ma-
gotten visibly angry at the idea that we may not circumcise him.
Yeah, just
Mad that you might
contemplating
not?
it.
Yeah.
Just
That's
contemplating
weird.
it, like that's silly. Like you can have discussions without being viscerally angry at something.
Yeah, and it's just, but what
About
I'm saying
anything
is
almost.
that these things trigger. So like I brought up flat Earth, and you two instantly turn on it's like the Wild West triggers, and they pull out their dumbass and idiot guns, and they're like, man, who am I gonna peg with these?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So like anybody that questions it is instantly a moron. And well, now hang on. The thing about flat Earth is okay. So the people that believe in flat Earth or entertain it are typically people that would believe in other conspiracies, right?
Yeah.
So
They
think
actually-
about
they
let's think
actually
about it like this,
put
right?
that in the,
okay, you
other
look
podcast.
at the Kennedy thing, you look at 9/11. There's inconsistencies, right?
You know, I
so
actually
hang on.
saw an article recently that said that Kennedy wasn't shot; that his head just did.
Okay,
that.
I was in the middle of
It's like spontaneous combustion, right?
It's from all the meth.
these are people. These are people that
Marilyn
see
Monroe.
inconsistencies and other things, and let's just say that the linking factor is mistrust for government, right? Everything we know about space and the shape of the Earth and everything space related comes from NASA,
Well,
mostly, right?
we've been
from other-
pretty sure that the Earth was probably round since
Well, no, hang on,
Galileo.
no, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking
Before
about
then,
I'm
since
talking about
the
art.
Greeks. The Greeks
Yeah.
were the Greeks knew at
Right,
like
yeah.
800 BC.
There's a lot of cultures that said the Earth was flat too. To be fair, and
true.
depicted it as flat. So like all over the planet.
yeah.
At any rate, what I'm saying is, so if you don't, all that stuff comes from NASA typically now, right?
Yeah.
or other space programs
But you,
across the world.
okay, so you can conceivably at least consider flat Earth because you don't trust NASA,
So
right? Now
well,
is that
kind of because there's more than NASA. Like you have to you'd have to think of a global conspiracy at this point because you have to think that Russia, China, and everyone else with space programs are also in cahoots with each other to convince the world population that the world is round.
They all got together at like United Nations and were like, "Hey, you know what?
So
Let's simultaneously troll 8 billion people."
well, so
So
no,
we're
joking-
clear.
no
So we're
joking
clear.
aside-
There's no
joking
time
aside-
in history where nations have come
I'm just saying,
together.
no joking
and-
aside, though, if your distrust is in the American government or NASA, you have to extend that to essentially a global conspiracy.
Do you think that's a big extrapolation to make? Like, if I don't trust the American
No,
government,
I
what makes me by
think
default
what-
trust the Russian government?
I think one of my favorite parts of discussing conspiracy theories or flat Earth is discussing conspiracists themselves, because like you said, like if you believe in one conspiracy theory, it's not hard to just jump onto other conspiracy theories. Like you're always
and you're more
kind
open.
of a pessimist always. Like you're always questioning.
More a skepticist, but yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you
skepticism.
would
I-
say
Skepticism, not
you're
pessimist.
skeptical, right?
Skepticism is what
I
meant to say.
only see a reason to like believe certain conspiracy theories when I can see the gains from, harboring and fulfilling that conspiracy. What is there to gain by convincing everyone that the Earth is flat instead of round?
Well,
No, I don't know.
the biggest
I don't
gain,
know.
the biggest
Well-
gain is that all the world governments that have space programs have been lying to their people.
Okay,
Right. Well,
but,
and also,
but what do they gain from that lie?
right. Well, the other thing is, I think the Earth is round. The other thing is, they say
we
there's
all
like
do.
more land
know
that
Earth
we
is
don't know about. So if it's round, then we know where all the land is. If it's flat, then it might just keep going, and there might be more things that we
Yeah,
don't
the
know about.
the
I
infinite
mean-
ice wall thing, or
Well,
I
between
guess
us and the ice wall, there could be like a whole other continent
Well,
we
I'm
don't
not.
know about.
I'm not familiar with the whole theory, but
I don't think it's real. I mean, obviously, but
what? I don't think it's really just based on
The problem is when you use
lot
your
of stuff, but-
the problem is when you use your mistrust of government though to extrapolate such an extreme thing though. That's the other thing.
Well, what is that? What is the extreme thing you're talking about?
The Earth being flat. Like if your only
But why is that
justification
extreme? Like,
because if
because-
your only justification for the
But what
Earth
does it
being
change?
flat, what do you mean? What does it change?
The rhetoric you're
Phys-
using
physics
is
in gen-
troublesome because you
physics
say,
in general.
But
it
you're saying it's
changes.
such an extreme. Like,
I
to me,
mean,
extreme is like hurting people in
Well,
a
I'm
concentration camp.
saying the idea that the Earth is flat is a very extreme position.
Why?
Because of all the evidence that says the Earth is not flat. Because
mean,
of
yeah.
the
Literally,
literal mountains of evidence.
I'll agree it's more
Literal
extreme
what evidence?
than
like
other
Like
conspiracies.
from where's the source?
I mean, I could pull up various scientific sources on the internet from octonauts to actually
The hell's
it's
octonauts?
it's a kid show. From like octonauts
Oh, okay,
to
cool. We'll cite octonauts as to why the Earth is round.
Well, I was saying from Octonauts,
Wait
starting
a
at the
minute.
bottom because it's a kids show, to the most reputable scientific.
Octonauts is about a.
What would you consider the most
like,
reputable?
They are the
I
bottom of the
honestly
ocean.
don't.
I'm just curious.
I honestly don't
They're
know.
not
But my
space.
point is there's actually there's a lot of evidence to suggest that the Earth is round. Not even just scientists, but pilots and ocean navigators. Like there is so much evidence out there to say that the Earth is round, and if you use your mistrust of government, and that's the only thing you have. You don't have any actual evidence to say that the Earth is flat. It's just your mistrust in a government
Right,
that
but
says the Earth
to be
is
fair,
flat.
you as an individual,
is incredibly dangerous.
I think you're. Remember the visceral thing I brought up earlier?
I want to
Right,
say
right.
Like
dangerous.
Brad's getting like he's
Yeah, yeah.
heated.
I'm not heated. I'm just explaining my
it's
position.
Well, it is
on
Brad.
why
I would
It's
say
not
it's-
a good
What's
thing.
that?
It is Brad, so you
Yeah.
gotta
Is he heated
you
or
gotta
is he
count
not
that
heated?
in.
I would say dangerous is a strong word because if you think the world is flat, like
Yeah,
that's,
because if
there's no
somebody's
danger to anybody.
if somebody's a danger,
That's-
they might need to be dealt with.
That's fair. That's fair. But I think the position of taking such a radical position, like the Earth is flat.
but it's not.
The idea.
If you apply any empathy to it, it's not really that radical to say I don't trust NASA. All my evidence is basically coming from NASA. So,
but that's not true.
all evidence that
why?
you've seen.
well, I don't know. I don't know
Why?
I'm not. We're not. Again, I'm not trying to debate flat Earth.
It
I'm talking
certainly
about-
sounds
No,
like it.
I
but-
think it's
Go ahead and pull out your
I think it-
moron pistol and peg me
No,
with
no,
it.
I'm
So no,
that's not what
I
I'm
don't
saying,
think
but I'm like,
Tim's trying to.
I don't get the
think-
point that he's trying to make.
The point is what Jake was saying. If you think the Earth is flat, who are you hurting? Who are you hurting? And you're not a moron just because you don't
Question.
trust NASA. You're not a moron because you question consensus, right? Are you?
No, but by yourself, you're not hurting anybody. But if you're going to mobilize a giant group of people,
Okay, so
To do what? Rent
to
a
do
ship?
nothing.
I understand. I understand. It's
1,000 people
I get it.
believe
I get
in
it.
flat Earth.
I get
Who
it.
are they harming?
But it's not necessarily the idea that the Earth is flat. It's the original position that their mistrust in government can lead to such a radical
But
idea.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's not a huge. It's
Well,
not a huge
there's-
leap.
That is a really big leap.
No, it's not. You
Despite
as an
all the
individual-
evidence, that is a really big
Okay,
leap.
we're
What
not-
evidence?
Okay, so
you're citing only
all right.
government.
There- there- there's
No,
a lot-
I'm
source
not.
evidence.
You haven't even heard
Why?
any
Why
evidence
does that
I've
have
cited.
to be a bad thing?
I think we need.
I mean, that's fair.
I think we're
argument,
arguing
Yeah.
too viscerally for no reason.
Yeah, but
So my
okay.
point has been made.
Well, no,
I
no,
agree.
because now I'm wondering, like, why is that a bad thing? If
Why is what a bad thing?
if the information is only government based, why does that have to be such a terrible thing?
It doesn't have. It's not necessarily a terrible thing, but why is it bad to question it?
It's not, I'm not
It's-
saying
Okay,
it's bad.
there
question.
you go. There
I'm
you go.
not saying.
I'm not
Do
saying
you,
it's bad.
do you trust your government?
Well, that's not a conversation I want to discuss
No,
on the
it's
air.
just yes or no. It's an infallible. I mean, is it yes or no?
Yeah, that's not a conversation I really want to have on the air. So,
Well, your position is saying you trust. You
no.
trust them.
My position is that the Earth is round.
No. You asked why is it a bad thing
no.
if all the evidence comes from the government?
in reference to the Earth being round, yeah.
Okay, so
Again, you're arguing from a point of like you're better than people
who else-
because
who
you
else
have
is gonna-
seen the curvature of the Earth.
Well, I mean, I've been in a plane, but
So you've seen the curvature.
well, on a plane, you
you can see
literally
the
it.
curvature on the ocean on the horizon.
Yes, and I spent 16 hours flying over.
But, yeah, you can. If you have a pair of binoculars, you totally.
Did you
can.
have you took your binoculars
Trust
with
me.
you?
No, I
took your
did
binoculars
not.
out?
You
Yeah,
don't have
I was
to
on a
be
boat.
an ass about it either.
Oh.
But
Oh, you mean
Like-
you can see stuff disappearing over the edge?
Yeah, exactly.
That- yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
like, so
Regar-
we
And then,
were-
like, you can't see the
regardless-
curvature. You can see
regardless,
stuff
I wanna-
disappearing.
yeah, exactly.
I want
So
to
I actually got to see those.
step away from whether
Yeah.
the Earth is flat or round. 'Cause I don't think that's an important conversation.
That's
the
not the point
important
I'm making.
conversation is when you have discussions with people that believe in any conspiracy.
You get this reaction.
Well, it's better not to respond that way and just hear them out, and then don't call them names or say that
Say it's dangerous or radical.
or exaggerate. Yeah,
I mean, it's a radical position.
But what? Why is it radical?
Like I've
I would
said,
say I would
despite
define.
You're talking
I would
about
say it's a
all the
radical
evidence that
position based on
exists.
your.
but that evidence doesn't
Far
matter because
minority.
it's government evidence.
Actually, funny thing, it's not all government evidence. So people who actually navigate the Earth, there are certain patterns you take when you navigate the Earth, whether it be by ship or by air, that is only possible. Those patterns are only possible to complete on a sphere.
Do you think
This is besides the point.
due
We're
to, like, air
rolling back in the
currents and-
conversation whether Earth is flat or round.
Right, but okay, hang on. Let me address that. You're telling me that the people that believe and advocate for a flat Earth haven't considered that evidence? Or are they just
No.
they're all too stupid to consider that?
I think that I don't know what it is.
They've all.
I-
they
I'm-
Like,
consider-
none of them have considered that.
What I think it is they might be shielding themselves from it. I think it challenges their worldview, and people are scared of having their worldview.
No,
100%.
I disagree with
flat
that.
Earthers
No, there are flat earthers
not
that
addressed
have
that.
addressed
So
all
what?
the evidence.
So what's the argument against
I
that?
don't know.
I don't know,
Talk
man.
to
We're
me-
not flat
talk to a real
earthers.
flat earther.
When you talk to me about flat earthers, all I hear is, "Hey, here's 100 million people that still believe in Santa Claus."
See,
Like- like-
that's the point. You're condescending to people that question something that you think is
So hold on. I just gave
Wait,
you
what's wrong with Santa Claus?
evidence that wasn't backed by government. What's the problem? With
I love
that?
Santa Claus.
I'm not. Again, don't put me in the corner of advocating for the flat Earth.
But you're arguing their position, so
No,
now
I'm
you have to
arguing they
defend.
have
To be fair,
every
if
right
flat
to
Earth is
have that
real,
position.
Santa Claus
And
might
they're
be
not
real.
idiots for having that position.
He could live.
You're right. I would say
past
they're
the
ignorant.
wall.
I
If
can
flat
almost
Earth is
guarantee
real,
that
then
there
how could
is
there be
a
a North
man
Pole?
out there named, like, I don't know, Nicholas Claus or whatever it is.
Well, I'm saying
The
Yeah,
point
maybe.
is, you guys are making my point. The people question things that you two believe are as 100% true, and they're basically morons for doing so.
And you're no
whenever
It's
What do you mean?
You do the same thing.
you
It
can-
just-
have
like,
some-
everyone
and-
does
and
the
some-
same thing.
Well, not everybody. I try not to.
Oh, okay, but I mean,
Unless I'm joking.
You're
people
apologist.
have that reaction. That's a human
That
response.
doesn't make it right.
I'm not saying it's right.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying
But I led this
not
whole
not
thing.
all human
I led
responses
this
are
whole
right.
thing by saying that we shouldn't do this, and you both have done it. In the time that I
This is the truest of outrage we've had in a while.
I'm not outraged.
I
I'm
don't
just
know why
explaining my
you're
position.
like super passionate about it, and I don't quite understand. why.
I'm super passionate about it because it makes no sense.
Okay, yes,
and
it
that's
does.
that's it with me. Like, no, it doesn't make any sense to
It
me.
did-
So to me, it's a
No,
joke.
okay.
Like
So
I
given,
You're saying-
so given the evidence I gave you, make sense out of it.
You
please.
No,
cited
what
one
I'm
thing
saying
about
is
boats.
it doesn't
That's
make
fine.
sense.
Make evidence. Make sense out
Look,
of it.
okay, hold on a
I'm
second.
not here to argue
Look,
for flat Earth. So
right.
I can't.
Yes,
No,
that's
no,
what you're doing.
No,
No,
the point is that it doesn't make sense to you that the Earth is flat based on what you know.
Yes.
But does it make sense to you that people can be so skeptical to believe in the ulterior?
The reason why it doesn't make sense is
alternative.
because just because you're skeptical of government doesn't mean you have to be skeptical that the Earth is like. I don't
but-
100%
Okay,
trust
I
my
think they're not-
government
they're
either.
not-
But still, I feel like you haven't.
But just
spoke
because-
to, I feel like you haven't actually looked into what a lot of flat earthers believe.
I have. I've talked to a few of them.
Okay, well, but still, they have a lot of more than distrust in government. That's one of the
There are some
primaries.
smart
but
people
they
that believe in
I
flat
mean,
Earth.
but
I'll say that.
But
there are
that.
genuinely intelligent
But that's
people that
it,
have
though.
done
I had
the
someone.
research
I
and
had
believe the Earth
someone.
is
I had
flat.
someone who stumped me for a second. They showed me a picture of the sun
You don't think
in
so?
front
I
of
don't.
clouds, right? The
I mean,
clouds
that's
were-
just
they
my
actually
opinion.
So
appeared
I'm
that the
hang
entitled
clouds
to
were
that.
on,
behind
Brad.
the sun.
Yeah.
Brad, hang on. We got to
And-
come to this. I said there are genuinely intelligent people that believe the Earth is flat, and Dakota flat out said that none of them.
I didn't. I mean,
Dakota just said. He
repeated
said
the
that
same.
none of them
I repeated
are
the same
intelligent.
We
thing,
actually,
but-
we literally have it on film that shows I did not use those words.
Oh, you just said that.
No, you tried to quote me verbatim, and that's not
what
what I
did you
said.
say?
I said that I don't believe what you said.
You don't believe that any of them are intelligent.
No, I'm saying that they have not done. You said the research, as in like it's been proven, because it's the research.
Okay, I
To
think
prove
you're
it.
being semantical.
No,
They-
because the research. When you say I've done the research,
Yeah, see,
that means
that's
you
what I'm
have
saying.
proven it.
You're
It's a
being-
fact.
No, it's
No,
that
that's
they
not
just
what I said
believe
at
in the
all.
research, not that they just disproved it.
Okay, so
Excuse me for using
can-
the word "the." They've
They've
done
You're
their
trying to
research.
say that they've found something that
That's not
they
what I'm
think has
saying.
proven that
That's
they've
not
proven
what I'm
fact.
saying. I'm saying people have researched it and looked into it.
I'll give you
and
this:
They're not
people
idiots.
who believe in flat Earth automatically discredit a lot of research because they believe that research couldn't exist on a flat Earth.
And you can say the same thing about vaccination. you stop believing in anything doesn't believe in or coincide with your beliefs. It's you need to find the
That's
facts.
disingenuous though. Like that's not that's a statement from you're making a statement from a position that you believe is the authoritative position. Like this is 100% fact, and there's no There's no debate to be had.
That's like saying I think cars run on cotton candy.
Okay,
like
here's
if I can find one article online, I've done the research.
No, here's the thing.
Nobody's saying
A
that.
lot
Like,
of
that is the exact attitude I'm talking about.
because
you're better than these people.
Look,
and you're smarter than them.
Here's the thing. Okay, I'll explain it to you. A lot of research on round Earth, of spherical Earth, is based on the math and science of gravity and it being spherical and whatnot. Right? Like a lot of the math works in a spherical plane. It wouldn't work in a flat Earth. So we believe it because it makes sense, but if it was a flat Earth, then that research doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So like
that's
people,
true.
so people who believe in a flat Earth just discredit the mathematical
The
theorized
existing math as we understand it.
in a sense, yes.
Yeah. Well, not
Not
not saying the
necessarily
math
2
doesn't
plus 2, but
exist.
not necessarily 2 plus 2, but the theory that's basically given on a lot of mathematical formulas.
Mm-hmm. Well, not only that, but it's also the physics that is backed by the math. So take gravity, for instance, right? If we were on a flat plane opposed to a sphere, gravity would get, I believe it's stronger the more you got to the edges.
Well, that's if
So,
if it's from a centrical point.
Yeah,
Also,
exactly.
how could latitude and longitude function without
That's
being
created-
on a spherical grid?
That was my original point, right? About being able to make the
They have straight up
the
maps of
movements
this
on
shit
a sphere.
of this stuff. They have
But-
maps of this stuff.
But I mean,
With the flat Earth.
Flat Earth with longitude and latitude.
Yeah,
There is a flat
have,
Earth
you'll
map.
have to forgive me. Like, I'm not entirely sure on like the numbering, but how can I go from point A all the way over, like, and just keep going, and eventually I'll be at Z, and
okay.
then become A again?
Okay,
here's
so
the, here-
the
here's
argument
the argument is that you travel differently
Yeah.
than you think you do.
So when you're moving north, you're actually
Just
moving in a
logically
circle.
thinking, if it's flat like this, why can't you just go from A to B? Like, I don't know why.
If it's flat Earth, right? And okay, let's go with the round Earth, right? You're here, and you want to go around like that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
If the flat Earth, here's the point, right, that you were at. So instead of going like this,
I wish you guys
you're-
could see
you-
this.
The
You
way
just
you're
can't see it.
the way you're traveling is like this. You're traveling in a circle when you think you're traveling in a
Eli,
straight
are
line.
you still in here?
No, it's
So when you're traveling east, you're not traveling in a straight line. You're traveling in a circle, on a curve essentially.
Man, you got really upset about me saying the. Like, you took part
You're
of what I
trying
was
to
saying.
call me
Call
out
me-
like in front of
my,
everyone. It's
my
not
whole
cool.
point is, and,
No,
and
no,
to,
No,
You
forget
you
about
are speaking down to people.
it, dude.
I'm not calling
it's-
you out. Like, that's just what you guys are doing.
my
Literal-
whole,
it's
my
literally
whole
what
point,
you're doing.
Yes.
my whole point is that
See, yeah, you are.
I mean, to a certain degree, sure.
Yeah, so-
in some cases, I will, but they're making radical assumptions without
You
any
keep-
evidence.
Radical is a very
no,
dangerous
I
word.
disagree with that
You're
because,
right.
because
Dangerous.
being in a
It's
Because
it's-
radicals are is radical is that a buzzword? Is that a harsh?
Okay,
It's hard-
Brad,
it-
change your words.
I can
No,
see a
I-
reason for using
I'm
it in
okay
this
with
case,
radical and
but
extreme.
I can kind of see a reason for using it in this case, but
Because
I'm
you're
using
in
it as
the
a
sub-
synonym. I'm using
you're
it
in the
as a
severe
synonym for
minority of
extreme.
belief, so therefore you're kind of radical.
I'm using it as a
It
synonym
might not
for
be
extreme.
like dangerously radical, like you're not a danger, but you are severely in the minority of belief. Therefore, it's a
Jesus,
radical belief.
Jason agrees with you. Flat earthers deserve to be talked down to. So what's the threshold? Like what can people question before you
Well,
before
it's-
you don't talk down to them
Well,
anymore?
it's
You should never talk down to people.
How about what they're questioning needs to make sense? For
okay.
starters.
So then, what's your list?
I don't
Dude,
have
I'm
I
not,
don't
not
have
going
a
to sit here and make a
list.
list. Like,
I'm just
but
curious.
it's-
Like, at what point, like, does it swing to where now, like, they can be talked to? Like,
Listen,
I don't know.
when
I
they're
don't
gonna
think you should
argue
talk
me at
down
a
to people
point
when
that
they
makes sense.
that's what I'm asking. What point is that? Like, where?
You need evidence to support your
Look.
your-
I will 100% agree that there's people who believe in flat Earth that has not done even the flat Earth research. They haven't looked into it. And
Okay,
they
so
just
like
believe in it
aliens.
because they're skeptic.
Right.
Because they're just straight up skepticists.
They just want to jump on the train.
Right,
and
but
be
there
skeptical.
are. There has to be flat earthers and I've
Who can count their toes at least?
that
Right.
have done research and in a way that makes sense to them and they believe it. So like, I don't think talking down to anybody is the answer because
Well, it certainly doesn't help a dialogue.
I can
yeah.
agree with that.
I mean, look.
But this is the sort of thing. So
But
this
you don't believe they should have a dialogue.
no, come on. Now you're putting words in my mouth.
Yeah.
I think we
That's
should.
the sort of thing that kills a dialogue.
I think we should prove the Earth is round every once in a while, but we should probably have like high schoolers do it or something.
Have a what?
High schoolers
school.
do it.
Like, I mean, you know,
Well, high schooler couldn't prove it, right?
you'd
they
probably
could.
need money.
I don't know.
It's like
You ship a
Jake
high
talking,
schooler into
probably.
space and have him go around orbit a couple times. He'd probably.
Yeah, that's money.
They tried to put a teacher in space. That didn't work out too well.
Oh, that is
What?
too soon.
The Challenger blew up. They had a teacher on board.
Oh, a teacher.
Yeah.
They said T-shirt.
Yeah, the documentary on Netflix that
About
was
Flat Earth?
was in.
There's a
They're
documentary on Netflix about flat Earth.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
they're
it's-
trying. It's actually
Netflix.
supposed
Bill
to be.
Nye had that?
It's supposed to be in defense of
That's funny.
flat Earth, and they're trying to prove
Do you
flat
not
Earth
agree
is
with Bill
real.
Nye?
I don't agree with. I'm not going to go there. We'll talk about that off the air. But
Oh my
that's
God! What can we talk about?
no,
on
no.
air?
That,
So
I was about
anyways-
to say
Bill
something that would
Nye
genuinely
failed.
offend people. I can't
Okay,
do that.
okay.
Anyways, they in the documentary, they disproved their theory. Essentially, they said in the documentary they said if the Earth is round, this will happen, and if it's flat, this will happen. And they do the experiment, and it does it in the way that
The
if
Earth
it was round.
You know, it'd be funny if something happened that
Shocker.
was neither. Like,
It was just,
neither-
what are we?
It's a
We're,
pyramid.
we're
The Earth is a pyramid scheme.
Dear God.
Well,
Started-
Donald Trump and
Kind of.
freaking Buffett's at the top of
Buffett?
Warren Buffett.
My God.
Living at the top of the pyramid.
So, Brett, I am curious. What's your
My
where do you start allowing people to have?
I think you guys need to be better
Don't-
apologists.
Don't even go there.
What
They
do you
don't
mean?
really number.
you can-
Okay.
conspiracy
What about you?
theories.
How do you answer that question? Because I don't know how to answer that.
I
So
feel like
how do you
I
answer
think
that loaded
everything
question?
should be allowed to be questioned, and as long as you're not just like, oh, that thing's blue.
Look,
and
anything
Is
is,
it- is it-
allowed to be questioned, but when you are presented with proof and fact, you need to accept the fact.
but again, you're
Thank you.
but you say thank you all you want, but if you don't trust where the facts are coming from, you can't really call them
Let me
facts.
ask-
right?
let me ask you
Facts
this.
are
No,
irrelevant to where they come from.
but I would agree if they were coming from a source that you could trust.
Let me ask
That's
you,
that,
let me
just
ask you
because
this.
you don't-
That's
just-
not agreeing.
Let me ask a
That's-
question.
That's the opposite of what he said.
Just because you don't like the source doesn't make the fact not a fact.
Okay, so if somebody lies to you repeatedly,
Sure.
and then they come to you and
tell you something
tell
true.
you something, are you just supposed to believe it?
Well, no, you could verify.
But it's a fact, though. How do I
Yeah,
how do I verify the Earth is
You're
round?
absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It could very well need to be a fact, but so you can go verify.
Okay,
it.
but how,
Facts-
how,
facts are
let-
verifiable.
So let me ask.
how do I verify if the Earth is round
let me ask
as an individual?
That's fair.
Do
That's
some
fair.
research.
Let me ask you the same question. What would you do?
As what? And what do you mean?
If someone who just lies all the time and comes telling you an actual fact?
well, let's say make it important, right? Something important. So let's say
Well,
someone.
it's irrelevant.
Well, no, it's relevant because if someone told you something that didn't matter to you and you thought it was a lie, it wouldn't matter to you. You would just ignore it. So it has to be important for you to
okay.
want the truth. So someone completely lies to you and comes and says, "Hey, your sister's stuck in a well. I need you to come help." And
I
you're like,
figured you'd go check the well, wouldn't you? Like that's an important enough fact that you would check.
That's when all facts
So-
facts
so
are facts
you
because
verify.
they can be proven, because they can be verified.
But that's not always. I agree. That is what a fact is, but that's not always what's presented. You know, it's
That's-
just a lot of
That's
times it's
fair.
just an appeal to
That's-
authority. It's like I
that's
said.
absolutely fair. But when it comes to something like the Earth being round, that is verifiable.
But I can't verify it as an individual.
you can.
How?
Well, I mean, you can't. If you knew how to do the.
You can't firsthand do the scientific
That's what I'm saying.
investigation.
That's what I'm saying.
You
But
as
you
an
can-
individual
but you
located
can-
in Adrian, Michigan, that owns a business that makes a general income for this area. No, you
that's
can't.
what I'm
You
saying.
can't. You can't.
That's
go-
all I'm saying.
But you can do actual research and you can read though.
I understand, but
Let me ask you,
that's still
Let me ask a
all-
question. Let me ask a question.
All right.
None of
All
that
right,
is
now,
subjective.
let me ask a question. So you said that everything can be questioned, right?
Yeah,
That you said-
I believe everything should be questioned.
Okay, so
Don't you?
yeah, including people who question things.
Absolutely. Well, you should say, why do you question that?
Right.
And, I think that's totally fair.
I know. That's
I know
That's
you're
the
trying
more. I'm trying to be a
I got
dick,
you.
but
But
that's
you're right.
But
I mean, there's
that's
nothing
probably
wrong.
the more the appropriate response though is just question them rather than condescend down or insult them. Question them on their questioning is the appropriate response.
I would agree. I would agree. But
Almost over anything.
I think a lot of this stuff does deserve a dialogue. Like even
when
flat Earth.
when you condescend down to someone or be a dick to them, they're gonna immediately just dig in.
I agree.
When you question them and make them kind of like go through the process, and maybe you can counteract their points with your own points and convince them easier when they are in a friendlier dialogue.
Sure, I agree, but the problem with some of this...
No, that's... I
want to hear what he has to say. I'm curious.
But the problem with some of this is some people are so unpersuaded by facts. There's nothing you can show them, nothing you can present to them that'll change their mind.
That's fair, but you don't need to condescend down to them.
If your belief in flat Earth is predicated on you don't trust the government, and you show them a bunch of government sources,
then they're a lost cause.
Right. Absolutely.
It's like you're trying to define a word using the word.
So the condescension, you're right, is not good, but it's meaningless too. So it doesn't matter.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like when
think
you're
jokes
trying to
are funny.
use...
Again,
it's like trying to define a word by using it.
You're trying,
and it's condescending.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like how do you describe the color red?
Oh, that's tricky.
Red? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're...
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah, but the color red only exists.
No, this is trippy, right? All right, so let's say you see the color green, right?
Oh, I've heard this.
And let's see, you see the color. You're looking at this, right? What if you guys are looking at two different...
This is my green, yeah.
What are you guys looking at two different colors?
Yeah,
or viewing it as two different colors?
Yeah.
There's got to be a word for that.
I think there is.
I think there is, actually. Because I've thought about this before, too.
Yeah.
There's two people in the world that's actually had that.
when
Obviously, colorblind see things differently.
Yeah, so like everything you see that's red, I see as green.
How are we doing on time?
Where it's 10 o'clock.
9:58.
58? Oh my God, we used the whole episode on flat Earth.
Yeah, we did. This was a terrible episode.
Barely even actually got into flat Earth. It was mostly just conspiracy theory.
What it was the etiquette of what you're allowed to challenge, what you're not. Right. Flat Earth is a hot button one.
Well,
vaccines are another one.
Well, once again, I'll just finish on this. The reason it's hot button is because of all the evidence that say against it.
We still haven't addressed like your underlying mistrust of the evidence source, the source of the evidence.
That's irrelevant.
Well, but it's not irrelevant.
Just because you mistrust a source of evidence doesn't give you
you have to verify it with a different source.
Sure, you can.
Yeah, I know you can, but
well,
that's
how do you verify
like I said at the very beginning.
NASA?
At the very beginning,
you have to verify it with a different source, someone that doesn't work for NASA. Scientists that don't work for NASA that have research.
But okay, like the International Space Station, you're going to take a picture of the Earth, right, to prove that it's round.
I'm not saying that. I'm not.
No, but what I'm saying is, what's your other source of a picture of Earth?
Oh, sure, but you can find evidence. You can find evidence that it's not necessarily a picture of Earth, though.
What about telescopes? Like, do you believe
you can't see the Earth through a telescope?
No, but you can see every other
planet,
object in space, essentially. Well, not every object in space, but
everything you can see.
Space is big.
Everything you can see, though, looks spherical.
Yeah.
Like I was saying at the beginning, like I will entertain the idea of a conspiracy when you show me what is to be gained by lying about it.
Yeah, I'll agree. I don't know what's on the line for round Earth if it's a lie.
I can 100% understand why they lie about stuff involving 9/11. I get why they would lie about stuff involving the JFK assassination.
What about vaccines?
Because I still don't understand that.
You don't think anybody could lie?
No, but what I'm saying is I don't see what there is to be gained.
So what
money?
That's it. Like they just.
Well, I don't know.
They're putting like water in people.
Asking.
Like
so.
What
I don't get.
Water
so
I can hurt anybody.
Okay,
so that's fine.
I can understand.
Okay, but we can talk. We can talk about. But what the point I'm making is that when you can, make a point to me that I can understand about why someone would lie about this thing, then I can get on board with listening to the evidence and considering it as a possibility. Because until then, I'm just like. Because if there's no reason to lie about it, it's a troll. Like that's all it is.
I don't know what I don't know what's on the line for. Flat
I can
Earth.
understand why flat earthers would want to, like if they believe in this world conspiracy, that they want to disprove it, and therefore it would make every civilization like upside down.
Is there some Wakanda out there we don't know about?
I don't understand why the world would lie to the people about this.
Yeah.
Like, what is
What world? What are you talking about?
Like,
What do you mean by new
would the
world?
world leaders
why would
lie?
all the
Oh, I don't know.
world space programs
I don't
like
know.
Why
should
China,
ask- you
Russia,
should
and
ask
the
a
U.S.
flat
all get
earther.
they
together?
could,
Why is the evidence so
if it was
consistent?
if it was flat, they could just say it's flat and we need to do research to see what's beyond the ice wall. Like they can get the same amount of money
but
The White
thing
Walkers.
is,
that
if
they
it's
got.
flat.
Oh,
Have you seen the thing?
don't say
Oh,
that.
dude!
Have you
no,
seen
that's
the
it.
thing
George
with the-
R. R. Martin. He originated all of the flat
They won't
Earther
let him
stuff.
finish his books.
No, they won't let him because he's showing us the truth.
Have you seen the thing that the
Wait,
moon's
what?
a hologram?
Can you repeat what you originally said?
What?
The White
The moon's
Walkers,
a
man.
hologram. Have you seen that? That's
Did
pretty
they come
wild.
from behind an ice wall?
Yep,
I'm
they
upset.
sure do.
I'm upset.
No, they don't. They're on the other side of a ice wall. They don't come out from behind it
Well,
Well, they
whatever.
literally
There's
come
an
out
ice
from behind
wall,
it when they
that's
knock
the
it
point.
down.
with a dragon. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is on the edge, so like
That's so funny.
I can imagine after it's down there, just like peeking around. Like,
They're like, "Whoa, dude." White Walkers.
why don't they
would
just
suck.
walk?
I wish Pete would have said
Well,
something
they
about
do
flat
walk.
Earth,
No,
'cause
they're in the
I don't
water.
know.
They
I
don't
don't think
die.
Pete's still
No, I
watching.
don't
No,
think they
he's
can
gone.
get in water for whatever
They
reason.
can. They show in
They
the
just be in
episode that
shape.
they're in the bottom of water.
Listen, we're not going to take
Reaching
that
up.
show as canon.
Do they?
That's
Yeah.
They also carry around 100
John-
foot long.
Yeah, like
chains.
why couldn't they walk in the why couldn't they walk down to the bottom like what,
Of the
like
water?
when they were on that little island and it's all like broken and it like refroze? Like why couldn't they just go through the water
Riddle
and
me
get
this:
to 'em?
why were the undead creatures worried about drowning?
That's what I'm saying. Why can't they just
I
walk
don't
around
think
the
they
wall?
were. Like
No,
I just
they didn't
assumed.
cross the ice until they saw that it was solid enough where it wouldn't break.
Well, because I
makes no
assume there's
sense.
something to do with like they can't be in water.
No,
Like, it
there's
will-
not.
Well,
Nothing canonically.
Do they show
if
them
you
in the
couldn't
water
die-
underneath?
I don't. I do not ever remember
think so.
seeing a White Walker
What's
in the
that?
water.
Tell me.
That's why I was thinking.
I was
this.
gonna say if you couldn't die and you couldn't swim, and you were stuck underwater, that would be
just-
pretty miserable.
You can walk.
Yeah, you could just keep
Well,
walking.
yeah, they don't
you
have
know?
to breathe, but I'm assuming that
What is
water
that,
would
Pirates
kill
of the
them or
Caribbean where they
something.
have zombies underwater?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
it's,
doing
yeah,
that.
it is.
And they just are
Were
walking?
you meshing the two together?
You watch Game
No,
of Thrones?
no. I see what you're
Not anymore.
Okay.
I
Me and
used
Brittany
to.
are on season 3.
and you.
Oh, then you should stop.
Huh?
Season 3 is where it's stopped being good,
Game
as far
of
as I
Thrones
can.
is
I mean,
really trash.
No, I-
that,
like
that was the last
season-
season.
Yeah,
and
I
then-
don't know. I'm
Season
watching
3 was
it
fine.
again,
It was
and
season
a lot
4
of the
that-
complaints I've
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah, where
are
it started
the-
stumbled.
Yeah, get through
consistent.
season 3 and
Consistent
call it
with
good.
what?
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
show.
Call it a night.
No, you tried to lay that
That's
on
how
me.
it is?
That's wrong.
I'll rewatch it all, but
No,
like,
the-
some of the complaints I heard about season 6 and 7 are consistent through the
But
whole
think-
show.
but think about it like this.
Also,
So the pacing.
I don't think John is a bad character
I agree.
now.
He's far better in the early seasons.
Like he's
Now
more
he
flawed.
he literally he has a character arc. Now he has no arc. He can't die. He can't fail. He literally loses the battle, and the North makes him the king.
Oh, my girlfriend's not.
I can almost guarantee that's the way it's going to happen in the book.
No,
right?
no, it already happened. Oh no, it's not.
no.
No, that not like that. I don't think they're gonna have a battle of the bastards like that.
I think. Well,
They're gonna have some
They're
kind
gonna
of
have a
Is the,
Battle of
mo-
Bastards.
is the TV series ahead of the book?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, way, way
That's why
ahead.
it's gone down the toilet bowl.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
They're bad.
I've heard George R. R. Martin's not writing all that amazingly, but
I've really
He-
enjoyed.
he's
the Game of
actually
Thrones
come
books.
out and talked
his
about
body
how
of
his
work
next
is not
book-
good.
He's come out and talked
Right.
about how like the book coming out yet is going to be drastically
just
different
love,
from the show.
I just
Oh,
love
absolutely.
South Park's rendition of it all.
which
Oh, okay.
There are
Which was that?
probably close
You don't
to
remember
50
when they
plot
go
lines
when
that
they're
are
where they're all
dead.
playing Game of Thrones and they go to George R. R. Martin's house?
okay, yeah, that sounds familiar.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess in that particular canon, the whole Song of Ice and Fire, there is a rape or a reference to rape every 17 pages.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
On
apparently.
average?
Yeah, somebody like counted it out. Yeah,
Oh, on average, or
I could see that.
actually every 7
on average. Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Well,
It'd
yeah,
be
you
really
go
weird if it was every
17
17 pages.
You
and
the
he's-
whole chapter where there's no
You know,
rape
if it's
and
Well, I
literally
thought- I
every
thought it
17
was every
pages,
no,
that's
no.
planned.
that's really interesting. I could
Yeah.
see it. I
Yeah.
could totally see
He's
it.
got
It's a
big
barbaric
thing for
world.
rape.
Like it's. I hate
Well,
when people.
the world is so gritty.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like it's an actual world. There's not like
One things I hate is oversensitivity, where stories like that can't be told. Like they're not portraying rape in a positive light. Like
or in gruesome detail.
Yeah,
like
they're acknowledging that
I
it
don't know.
exists in like a terrible world.
I mean, I do. I've read the.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with those books.
Like,
Okay.
like
Love 'em.
Even if they're even if
Love
like
'em.
the people
Promo.
themselves, like let's say like you won a war and therefore you're going to take your spoils, like they've mentioned, like it's still a bad thing. Like obviously it's not worldwidely accepted.
It's definitely not in a positive light. It's
Yeah.
like,
So like being able to tell gritty things should be allowed in art.
Yeah. I will say George R. R. Martin's body of work apparently is very, very bad. He's written tons and tons of books.
You know whose body of work I'm ready
Game of Thrones turned out.
ready to expand on? Jordan Peele's his new movie comes out soon.
Oh, is that the
Us?
Us, yeah.
It looks super weird.
Yeah, it does look really weird.
And then he's putting himself right in that niche.
How are they going to make the white people bad in this one when it's like clones?
Well, there's no white people, so I'm actually watch it.
I'm just
There
curious.
is white people in it, but
Oh, really?
but anyways, not all
There
his
are white people in it.
but anyways, he's putting himself right in this horror niche because he's hosting the Twilight Zone that's coming out soon, or might have already came out or started. He's got this movie, and apparently he's just confirmed that he's going to do a Candyman reboot. You guys know what Candyman is?
Yeah. That's an old
horror movie where you can't say
Sick of reboots.
where you can't say well, it's been a while for something like this.
Yeah, Candyman's an old movie.
Where you can't say Candyman.
You do it in the mirror or something.
Yeah, and then he shows up in a
Remember kids
Like
trying
Bloody
to scare me
Mary?
when I was, yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
but he's got like
He's got a hook
bee,
hand.
and he has bees that come out of his
Is
mouth.
he-
Brush your teeth.
Is this gonna be like just basically like a rapper, like a 2019 rapper, like that's killing people?
And on that note, we're gonna end the show.
Post Malone sixes bees on
yeah.
you.
Post Malone. Have you seen the memes? He
Oh
looks
my
like
God! I
Water
can see
Malone.
the title right now.
Home
Posty.
Alone.
Home Alone.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Like this.
Thanks for watching through the whole visceral argument about the flat
If I
Earth.
had to watch it, I would have turned it off.
No, I think people watch. So,
I
all right, guys,
I
we love you.
I don't think it
Bye,
I
guys.
don't think anyone watched. Bye.